Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. Okay, so I want to talk you through this process of painting that I did on this one and how I normally do my paintings. Okay, I've already wetted down the paper with water, and this is it's multimedia 9 by 12 paper, and I'm using Prussian blue. And I'm just basically dotting out the sky and some of the water parts here. Now my intention was, it's like I do in all of my paintings. All of my paintings, they come from imagination. So I was thinking before I walked in here, I was thinking, okay, I want to do something, like if I was in Alaska. If I was in Alaska on the shore, and I had a visual thing in my mind, okay? Now, I've tried still painting before, and I haven't been very good at it. And I think it's because I'm too critical of myself. That's why I like doing things from imagination. And I was thinking about this movie series, reality series called Alone. And I haven't watched it in a couple years, but I was thinking about that when I walked in. So, now here, what I did was I mixed some crimson red light with a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of Prussian blue to get that color. Instead of using Payne's gray, that's what I used for the earth colors, the earth tones here. Now, all I know is I wanted the background to be white mountains, okay? And I didn't want to use no white. And I basically knew I wanted some fir trees, evergreens in there and stuff. So, I'm dabbing along here. And this is a medium hake, by the way. And this is Prussian blue. And, when I do these things, when I paint and I record everything, and I've released just about everything, I'm not apologetic about it because for me, this is who I am. And, I leave, this is my therapy. And after I had painted this earlier today and I watched it, I was seeing things that, that you don't normally see when you're painting. So here, with the same colors that I used for the earth, I'm outlining a mountain range, right? I've been dabbling in the oils lately, so that's what I do in oils. But I had no plan whatsoever on using a liner brush or a rigger brush. It just came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay. So, and by the way, my mind is just going. I'm not, it's all imagination. So now that I did that, I'm trying to work on a mountain range. And that's how I work. Sometimes it's the colors that make me move, make me do things, and other times it's the shapes. But all in all, it's all in my mind. It's in my mind. Okay, so I was like, okay, now I got a mountain range going here that I did not want to put on here. I wanted the mountains to be white, pure white. I didn't want nothing else, just white way in the background. But now I've created a mountain range, and that is what happened. And so I'm like, okay, a little bit of burnt umber here, and I'm with a little bit of green and blue. You know, what I like to do sometimes is, if I get distracted with one part of a painting, I'll see if I can go to another part that maybe I can get inspired from, or maybe it'll take me somewhere else. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm coming down and I'm like, okay, the mountain don't look like I wanted it. So I'm just going to come down and see what I can do on with the land. Give it a little bit of color and such. But the whole time I'm doing this, my main thing is I wanted white mountains in the back. So I'm not thinking about this, and I went ahead and I put a line there. And once I did that, I knew, okay, since I've already started a mountain range, I want it to be reflecting into the water. Okay? And again, I'm thinking I don't want to use white, but my white mountains are not there no more because I've outlined them and everything. Now, in real life, in our situations, and in watercolor painting, pigments fade. They fade to a lighter color, depending on the pigment and how strong you apply them. So here I am putting on some fir trees or evergreens, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted them green. Because I'm thinking green. I'm thinking green. But I also know that depending on how close up you are to the trees, and I'm an overthinker. I am an overthinker. And how far away from the trees, and the light shining on the trees, and the shades in the trees. That's why I left the green trees right up front, because I was like, I need to focus on something else now. Well, but I am consciously thinking about this, but not, I don't know. I could have put yellow on there. Okay, I could have put yellow on these trees to give it like a reflection of a sun, but I didn't want to. I almost did. So I put some blue on there to darken it up. And the darker the colors, in most cases, the darker it is, the closer up front it is. But I still wanted them to be green. Okay. Now, I was using the hake brush for part, like just dabbing it and lightly touching it with the paint. You get those like the leaf effects and the bush effects, like like from the bushes. And here I am with a fan brush, and fan brushes do this very well. I added some of the burnt umber on there, and I was like, okay, let's try to get some more some of the trees and that. And I'm like, okay, add a little bit of blue. Now I'm trying to define this mountain range that was supposed to be white. It was supposed to be white, but that's okay. That's how I roll. I roll this way. And that is what inspires me when I paint. Sometimes I sit down and I paint, and then I'm like, oh. And, I change everything in the middle of a painting, okay? And I record it, and I put it here on YouTube because it's who I am, and it's what I do. And I'm no professional. So I did have white on the side just in case I needed it. But my intention was absolutely, I am not using white in this video. I am not using white on the painting. Not this time. And because of the mountain range that I wasn't thinking about, I just outlined it, and then it, that kind of threw away the white mountains. So I went ahead and I'm like, okay, I'll add a little bit of white here and here. And I've done this before in some of my earlier videos where I've put white up there against the sky. And all of a sudden, and I didn't realize this until I was done painting and I looked at this video, the same thing happened. Well, the white almost turned into the sky. And it probably did turn into the sky, depending on, how you're viewing it. Now, I have a few important things I'd like to say about this. Okay. So I'm just kind of, coming across some of the landmass here and that. I want to tell you, first and foremost, if you enjoy any of my videos, and if you haven't looked, or, they fluctuate because it's all spontaneous. Please like and subscribe. I don't make any money off these, and it don't cost nothing to subscribe. So here I was like, okay, I'll put some blue here right below that line to give it a reflection of the mountains there in the distance. And in any painting that you do, even if you're unhappy with it, because I'm unhappy with a lot of my paintings, at least parts of them, but I enjoy the process of all of them. Just put a few birds in there. Put a bird or two in there, little bitty birds in there, and that will brighten up, that will change the whole painting. Because now you have wildlife. You have wildlife in your paintings. The birds are amazing. I want to wish you a good day, a good morning, and a good evening whenever you're watching this. And thanks for viewing. Sincerely yours, John.